Hey, Kristen.
How are you?
I'm doing great. We have, I guess, 3 more days of winter here in Florida, and then it's supposed to get back into the 80s, so I'm wearing long sleeves while I can.
Nice. So we had some days this week that were I don't know if it got up to 80, but it got up to 70s. And it's a really big difference from the freezing weather that we've had, the snow that we had since our last recording. That snowfall totaled like an 8 inches. I think that was since our last
Wow, that's
recording.
crazy. Yes, I do think it was. I just didn't realize it was
Yeah.
that much, but that was like the most snow you've had in like a long time.
Yeah, we haven't had that much snow since at least since I was in college. So that's been a long time. I was excited
Impressive.
to see it, and then I was ready for it to be gone.
Right? Like, you're nice for a day. Shoo shoo.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I guess I want to go ahead and start out today talking about an exciting maybe announcement that we have.
Yes, get your wallets ready.
We have our merch store live, and so it's actually already posted in our Facebook page links, and we can share the link as a post in all of our other socials. But we have merch. So
Fabulous. I can't
I
stop looking at
have,
this.
if you're an audio listener only, I'm showing I have the mug. I bought the 20-ounce mug, which is giant. But I made a cup of coffee to drink while we're recording out of our mug, and it is so cute. So we have our face on one side, and then the logo minus our faces on the other side. The merch store also has pins, a hoodie, t-shirt, a sticker, and I think that's it.
Yeah, and we
So
might add some more stuff,
yeah, we
whatever
can
you
we can
want.
totally add more, but yeah, it's just exciting. It's exciting to have that out there. I'm excited to have this mug. I love a big mug, but this is a huge mug. So,
I know, I was about to say, like, oh, I like 20 ounce. That's a good size. But if you're not, like, super into the big coffee mugs like we are, they do have 11 ounce and then a 15 ounce. But
yes.
I'll definitely make sure my mother gets one because she drinks coffee religiously. So
And this would even be a good soup mug, I think. It's just a good size. So, anyway, it says it's dishwasher safe so that the picture's still going to be on there. So, anyway, I'm really excited about it and I hope that you guys check it out. If you are wanting to type away while you're listening, our store link is lcybmerch.printful, and you can just kind of browse and see what we've got out there. And even if you don't want to shop, you can check out what we have. So, I just wanted to make sure we announced that because it is very exciting.
yes, and I'm definitely going to be ordering some stuff too. We should add fridge magnets. It just popped in my head.
Love a magnet.
We
I
love
love
magnets.
magnets.
Thank you,
That's
Jen.
my gift if people are going traveling. I always say, like, if you want to bring me something back, I want a magnet. So you brought me a magnet back from when you went to China.
I did. I don't remember what it looks like. I feel like
I
it
think
was.
it's the Great Wall.
Yes, okay. I remember getting it, but I can't remember like which one I got you, but I was like, yeah, we like that one.
Yeah, yeah, so cool. So before we really get into it, that's actually super relevant to our episode today. But before we get into that, let's go to our hot take. And I brought this up as our hot take this week because I recently had a conversation with my husband about this very thing.
Okay, I'm ready for
So,
it.
this is the great toilet paper debate. And if you are not aware, the toilet paper debate depends on which side your toilet paper hangs on when you put it on the roll. So, over, like hanging down in the front, or under, hanging down in the back against the wall. I personally have a right and a wrong way ingrained into my brain. Do you, Libby?
I think growing up, I feel like it was never like a set thing, but I can picture one specific way like very frequently growing up. But then I think after I met Terry, like I feel like he was a little bit more passionate than I am about, so I started doing it that way. So do we say on the count of
Right.
three?
Yeah, let's say it on the count of three, Libby.
Okay,
One,
two,
two, three.
three.
Over.
Over.
Okay, yay!
Oh,
I'm
okay, yes.
so glad you do an over. I feel like I would remember if I was at your house and it was an under. I have a reason why I do it over. My sister was very, very determined to let me know that we need to have it over when we were younger. She might not even remember that, but ever since then, I've been like, yep, we don't go under, we go over. And I saw a meme that I thought was really funny. My husband, for some reason, it's always been him that's been replacing the role recently, and he always does it under. And I've noticed it and I haven't said anything because I was like, that is not a fight to have.
Right,
It's
yeah,
not
pick
that
'em.
important.
But do you think he's doing it consciously, or he's just like, oh, whatever, I gotta change it. Let's do it the quickest way and I'll move on?
Yeah, I'm sure he's not even putting thought into it. And if he is, like,
We
I don't
got
know.
to have a
So
discussion.
But I saw a meme that kind of made it funny. And because I also noticed he does the paper towels that way. And I didn't realize there was a wrong way to do the paper towels in my mind until he did the paper towels that way.
You must have the horizontal paper towels then, right?
Yeah, we have it mounted like under our cabinet. So
Right. I just have the
anyway,
old
he
school.
had that under as well. And I was
That's
like,
wrong.
I don't love it.
But actually,
Which
isn't that
actually
easier?
it is on the paper towels. I think it's easier.
Mhm.
So I told him, I was like, Dylan, beards are good, mullets are bad. And I don't know if you've seen that meme, but it's like a toilet paper with the roll hanging over the front, and they call that a beard, and then over the back is a mullet. And so I just thought that was really cute. And it's
That's
an easy
hilarious.
way to remember it.
I'm gonna look that up. Beards are good mullets. I like it.
Yeah, it's a cute little
I'm
it's a
gonna
cute
forever
little
remember
thing.
that now.
Well, you're gonna think about it and you're gonna be like, Kristen would say, this is the right way.
But I do it under sometimes though, because I have an 18-month-old, so he likes to with the toilet paper roll. So if I do it under, it's a little bit less toilet paper every
Yeah, that would be harder for him. I have an article pulled up that Cottonelle so graciously shared with the world about this toilet paper debate. And it said on here that one of the reasons why people do over is because it looks tidier, it's easier to grab that way, and it's easier to tear it off, which I do agree with all of those things. The reasons people do under include that, like accidental unrolling, whether like a dog or a baby or whatever who likes to play with the toilet paper roll, that kind of stops that. According to Cottonelle, 70% of wipers prefer the over position.
Yes,
So we
I
are in the
agree.
majority. I'm not sure who they surveyed, but
Right?
it does say roughly 50% of the population says they pay active attention and get agitated if it is the wrong way.
I
Those
mean, people
picky
are.
people.
They are very passionate about it. So I want to
So,
know what listeners are. Are you guys over, under? Do you absolutely not care at all?
yeah, I worried when I brought this up. I was like, no one's going to care. But apparently, at least 20% of the people are irritated when it's wrong. So,
They do
there's
care.
this cute little section. What do you do if you're in a divided household?
That's funny. Like claim your
You
own
gotta
bathroom. Like, this is my bathroom. Get your own
you gotta
bathroom.
fight it out, I guess. Yeah. So fascinating. But that is enough for toilet paper for today. I just wanted to ask you, I was very curious to find out if we were aligned, and I'm glad that we are. I mean, just more
Yes.
compatibility.
That's so funny though. I love that
All
one.
right. So, what is connecting us this week, Libby?
So this week, since we record on Sundays. I guess I'm not trying to give away like our recording schedule, but yeah, we record on Sundays. And
Yeah.
this past week was the start of the Chinese New Year.
So, the start of the Chinese New Year for 2026 was on February 17th. So, we kind of pre record our episodes. So, this episode won't be coming out until March 13th. But, we're in that season of newness. And so, what is it that the Chinese New Year is all about? Like, what is the purpose of that celebration?
So it all kind of started, I guess the legend dates back to the Jade Emperor, where he, I guess, had all these animals kind of competing in a race to kind of, I forget what the race is for, but that's kind of like how all these 12 animals got aligned to like a different year. So you know how like in astrology, it's based on your birthday, like your full birthday. So the Chinese zodiac is just based on your birth year and how it aligns with the lunar calendar. Sometimes I think it can be tricky if you're born like in January or February because the lunar calendar will always shift a little bit. You know how you had mentioned it started on February 17th, whereas like our New Year starts on January 1st. So that just varies year to year. But this year is the year of the fire horse.
So, lots of cool stuff going on with the Year of the Fire Horse that we're going to get into a little bit. But I recently sent you a little Facebook meme about this Chinese New Year that Draco Malfoy has become the like poster child for the fire horse. And it said something about like Malfoy, the last name sounds similar to like fire
Yes,
horse in
so
Chinese.
ma in Chinese is horse. It's like that directly translates to horse. And then I'd have to look up like what the foy part of like Malfoy is, but like that is like good luck. So he even Draco himself even posted in his like full like cursed child Draco costume. Like he posted like, wish everyone a happy Chinese New Year. So I thought that was really cool. Tom Felton. I called him Draco.
Yeah, that's okay. So, Cursed Child is the TV series.
So that's the Broadway show.
Right,
Yep.
right.
Yep, yep, yep. So he, like,
I
plays the
read that.
adult Draco. Was it good? I didn't read it.
I read the book. You were literally reading a script, and I was not expecting that. I don't know what I was expecting. But, I mean, I haven't read a script since, like, you're in high
Right.
school and the teachers make you. But it was a good story. I liked it, so I'll
That
let you
one I
borrow
feel
my
like might be
copy.
good to hear on the audiobooks, so
Absolutely. I'm sure they have good actors doing it, and I'd love to see the show live. That'd be cool.
I know. We gotta make our way out to New York. I think they also play in Chicago. I feel like sometimes they might come to, like, Orlando. Maybe Raleigh-Durham might get it. That might be cool.
Yeah. Even if it's like a off-Broadway performance, I would be cool with
Yeah, we'll
seeing
take
it
it.
just to see the performance. So,
Also, I was just thinking, we cannot go a single episode without bringing up Harry Potter, and I love it.
yes.
It just
We need
happened.
just a Harry Potter themed episode to get it all out there. But we have our vices and that's one of them. So, yeah, so the Chinese zodiac, I was watching some just like breaking it down Chinese New Year for kids, what's it's all about on YouTube. And you should always go to YouTube for your research purposes.
Yeah.
But I found out that there's a lot of different like spiritual legends that go along with the Chinese New Year. So some of them, going way back to the beginning, a lot of them having to do with the ancient people and their crops and livestock and just trying to answer that question of like why are the crops failing sometimes and trying to explain the change of the seasons. And I think a lot of cultures have that kind of desire in their ancient people to explain, like, just
Oh, yeah, because
nature.
they're just living their life, like, no technology, no nothing. It's like, well, why does it?
Yeah.
So, no, that's very cool.
So the Chinese New Year is also the time where it's like the start of spring, right?
Yes, so, the Spring Festival is what they'll celebrate in China, or, like, I think they're off that's basically like their Christmas, huge
Yeah.
I think people are off, like, for a week or 2. There's so many fireworks and celebrations in the squares, so, yeah, it's a big deal.
So one of the videos I was watching was going into it said a 15-day festival, and I want to go on the record as saying I am not a good resource to quote. If you are writing a research paper on the Chinese New Year, you should look somewhere else for your information. But to just spit out what I watched on this YouTube video, like each day is like a different celebration, and so they do different things, and some of them are like really honoring, like ancestral honoring, and then some of them are like just fun. Some of them, have to do with gifts, and I know that the Chinese New Year is a lot of people I think are familiar with the idea of the red envelope for like the gifts they give
Yes, yes,
Chinese
yes.
children with some money in it. So I like that tradition.
Mhm.
But yeah, so there's a lot that goes into it. It's more than just like when you say New Year for like, I guess our Western viewpoint of like it's the start of the year, we celebrate it, there's fireworks, but this is kind of more than that. It's more culturally significant in a lot of Asian countries, not just China.
Wait, uh, yeah, like, Taiwan will celebrate differently, than China will, Singapore. All the different Asian nations, they'll have like their own version of the new year with their own unique ways to celebrate. So
Yeah.
I think that's like definitely like a bucket list thing to like get to go and actually celebrate that in person at some point. That'd be so much fun.
That would be so cool. To put you on the spot, you speak a little bit of Mandarin. Do you know how to like say Chinese New Year in Mandarin?
Oh yeah, I looked it up the other day. Okay, 新年快乐. So 新 means like new, and then 年 is year, and then 快乐 is like I guess like just like celebrate like hooray or something like that.
Like I guess going on to the festival part of it, like the festivities.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
new year, celebrate. If you're not watching our video, I am Chinese, so like yeah, if you don't know who I am, but yeah, I am Chinese. I am an adopted Chinese, so I didn't necessarily like, grow up celebrating the new year every year.
Sure.
My parents and I would kind of like celebrate a little bit, but now that I'm an adult, it's like when you grow up, you have like more of an appreciation for things that you didn't as a kid. So we always try to make a habit to like at least go out and like have a nice meal at an Asian restaurant, and that's kind of like how we celebrate. But if there are like festivals in the town that we're living in or visiting, we'll try to go out and go there, support local businesses and things like that.
Sure. Yeah, I know that dumplings is something traditionally that is made in China, at least to celebrate the new year,
Oh yes, hundreds of
and it makes me
dumplings.
really want some dumplings.
That
I
sounds
could
really good.
go for that. So the Chinese New Year, we mentioned that there are 12 different animals. I don't know if you named them off, but it's rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, pig. So there's 12 different animals, and then there's also elements that go along with it. So they are the elements like wood, fire, earth, water, and metal. So yeah, they kind of rotate. They have different years assigned to each animal, and then each year, depending on the number that it ends in, determines what element goes along with it.
So I guess we can talk more about like, so what does this year bring about it being a fire horse year? So we're talking things like a little bit of intense, a little bit chaotic energy, but there's also lots of growth and transformation in this year, taking lots of like bold actions, which kind of really makes me think about our podcast. Like, this is a big bold action that we're taking.
I had the exact same thought.
But it's funny because I see a lot of symbolism, like that kind of circles back and just reminds me of like how true pursuing your hobbies and your passions are. So like I feel like we are so aligned on this podcast. So I like knowing that the universe has got our back with this basically.
Sure. I like that. So, because the Chinese New Year includes an animal and an element, like even though there will be another year of the horse in, I guess, 13 years, there won't be another year of the fire horse for 60 years. So, this year is really going to be unique, at least if you follow the tradition. Because, like you said, I just pulled up what are the predictions or the expectations for the year of a fire horse, and it talks about having a hustle culture, which I appreciate. It does talk about like the chaos and just maybe some change going on. So this might be a big year, like there might be big changes out there, so pretty cool.
Also a strong year for technology, creativity, there we are again, and career advancements.
Yeah. So if you're trying for a promotion, this might
This
be
is
your
the year.
year. Yeah. So I like the section. So citing sources is something that Libby and I have talked about. This information that I'm about to share is coming from AI's review of the South China Morning Post. But it says that this year is good for, or maybe it says volatility. So that's bad. Like bad stuff in relationships, politics, global markets. Volatility, is that a bad thing, Libby?
Yeah, I could think about like, yeah, being like unstable typically.
I guess it could end for the well, but it might be a little rocky.
Yeah. I guess just like be mindful of like, yeah, things could have yeah, like you were saying, like have a little bit of a crazy start, little, just be, try to have some patience.
So I am looking up right now who are some famous people that were born in the year of the horse. And Emma Watson is the first name that pops out to me. So she might be a really big figure this year because, like, when your year comes around as being like your zodiac year, it's supposed to be really significant for you as well. So we also have Paul McCartney, who is not alive anymore.
I believe, no, is he? I thought he was. He's one of the few members who is still alive. Yeah, he's 83.
Okay, cool. So sorry, Paul McCartney. I'm so glad you're still with us. It's going to be a big year for you. You might have some change. We also have Jackie Chan, Nelson
Yes.
Mandela.
Ooh, good, good.
So Gordon Ramsay,
Chicken sandwich.
lots of big names that are horses. So we can expect good things from them this year,
So
or at
actually,
least maybe big news.
Paul McCartney, they are filming a new Beatles like biop. I can't remember if it's a movie or a TV show, but I think they're rounding out the cast, so I bet they'll start filming a little bit. So that's kind of big news for him. I wonder who's playing him.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be.
Well, Paul Mescal. Who is he from?
I
That's
have
funny. His
to
name is
look.
also Paul, though.
Yeah, seems relevant. He's Irish.
Well, he's from that show, Normal People. I never watched it, but I remember like seeing things about it. It's on Hulu.
Yeah, I just pulled up his IMDb, so he's done quite a few things. Cool.
Well, he's young too. Well, I say he's young. He's only a couple years younger than us, but still.
Yeah, that's neat. I like seeing people who are our age, being living different lives than us. What's it like? What's it like,
Right?
Paul? Also, just to bring it back to the Chinese culture. The last emperor of China. I'm going to say this wrong. His name is Puyi. He was
Fui.
born in 1906, which was a year of the horse.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
So I, am very, very Western in my education. I know little to nothing about Chinese history. I know about the Silk Road,
I guess the Silk Road.
and that might be it.
I feel like there was like what one chapter like where they cover some of the dynasties, like the Ming Dynasty. That's why I can only remember the Ming Dynasty. Is probably you're right, related to the
I
Silk Road.
mean, world history in high school, which was not my forte. I'm sure we talked about it, but as far as retaining that information, I don't have a lot to give. So
We were in
anyway,
that class together, right? World History AP.
yes, as freshmen, and dare I say, I was not prepared for that, but that's okay. So yeah, I would like to kind of dive in and I just want to know more. I feel like a perpetual student,
Yes,
and
and I
this
love
has
that.
sparked an interest. So
And I remember
let
that like I always was like is jealous the right word? But yeah, kind of because I'm a year of the rooster. And most of my friends, including Kristen, were born the year of the dog, and I was always like, man, I wish I was born year of the dog. Like that just sounds like so much cooler than being a rooster.
If I had to select a year, I would pick the dog. So I am happy to be a dog or a dragon, maybe, or a monkey.
Ooh, yeah, dragon would be cool too.
So there's some good options. I don't know that rooster would have been the top of my list, but let's celebrate you for you. And I appreciate that I have a rooster as my best friend. So
Yeah, I mean, and I'm very curious because we're gonna kind of talk about the personality traits that you would expect from each of us. So I'm very curious if they align because I don't check these all the time. So
yeah, absolutely not. I'm not really huge into like zodiacs, astrology, things like that. But, I guess going back to episode 2 and our personality traits, like I like to understand them. Like I like to know why people really are passionate about them. And I do think there's times where it can be true, but I think there's times where a lot of things can be true. So
oh yeah, I think we can. What's that confirmation bias? Like we can find ways like, oh yeah, oh that does describe me, yes,
for sure,
because we
for
want it
sure.
to be, and that's okay.
Yeah. Um,
But do you want to go
do
first? We can talk
you
about you,
Well, yes, but really quickly, I wanted to ask, do you remember Twin Dragons, the
the buffet
buffet?
place.
Yes.
Yes, because the last time I went, this is a very niche story, but I was 14 and I actually had a little bit of laser eye surgery to remove a little bit of a droopy lid. And we went out to eat after that. I don't know why. It was like a very in-office procedure, but I came home that night and I threw up, which is like the last time and only time that I can ever remember ever throwing up. But it
I'm
wasn't like the
so
buffet's
sorry.
fault. I think it was just because I had that
Yeah,
surgery earlier in the day because that place was so good when I remember going.
it was
What?
amazing.
It was
And
so good.
actually, I have, so not a traditional Chinese buffet food item, but I do not eat fried mozzarella sticks because I got them at Twin Dragons. And maybe just, I don't know if I overate them. I don't know if it was something else, but I threw those up. And I have not had mozzarella sticks and enjoyed them. I think I've had a taste of one or two here and there, but like I am not interested.
No, the
So,
mozzarella sticks.
but that is no shade towards Twin Dragons because I bring that up because I remember they had placemats that always had the Chinese zodiac like information sheet on it. And I'm sure that's like a generic restaurant like placemat. But when I think of the Chinese zodiac, the Chinese New Year, like your what year are you born in? That's how I knew I was the year of the dog because I had read that as a kid at that buffet.
That's so funny. I love that core memory. And I looked it up because I was curious if it's still open. It still is. It's got like 1,400 reviews on Google. It's called Twin Dragons Grand Buffet.
Yeah, it's up
And
on
it
a
really was
hill,
grand.
like, it is ornate, yeah, it's a cool place. Maybe we should go visit there one day just to
Yeah, when we go check out the Biltmore again, we'll have to go.
we
That'll be
gotta
our
do a
Christmas
food
dinner.
tour.
We'll go see the Biltmore for Christmas and then we'll go eat at Twin
That
Dragons.
is very Christmas story of us. I love that. Alright. So, yeah, I guess, I don't mind going first. So, I was born after you, so the year of the dog follows the year of the rooster. I was born in 1994, for those of you who are curious. Oh, Libby, the year of the dog. Thank you for doing the research for me. It tells me
Gotcha.
that I am characterized by loyalty, honesty, and having a strong sense of duty, which I'm assuming just means that I like feel obligated to accomplish tasks.
I see that. Yeah. Yeah. And like kind of, I don't want to say like rule follower, but like I feel like that kind of goes back to like you having a purpose. Like this is my duty, and
Sure. It says something about having being dependable and cautious and protective,
oh, for
which
sure.
I definitely feel like a protective person. Being stubborn or cynical, but also warm-hearted and responsible. So I value trustworthy friends. So I'm
Hmm.
curious if roosters are typically trustworthy people.
No, you are valued as a trustworthy friend. So you are my trustworthy friend.
I am a trustworthy friend.
Yes.
Well, you tell me, am I a trustworthy friend?
Yes, you're definitely.
Okay, well, great. I'm so glad. So I'm also specifically the element that goes along with my year is the wood dog. And I'm glad I remembered that because I did not type that into the notes, but I am a wood dog. So wood signs are like I guess they have the traits that go along with the elements as well as the traits that go along with the animals. So wood signs are supposed to be warm and sociable and cooperative, but again, stubborn. So I guess I can blame it
Hmm.
on my Chinese zodiac because I definitely identify as a stubborn individual.
Yeah, I can see that. But this is also coming from a stubborn individual, so our
Yeah, I thank
stubbornness
you
sticks together.
for being on my team there. Wood dogs represent spring, the east, the color green, and the planet Jupiter. I don't know a lot about astrology, and maybe one day we'll go into like our astrological zodiac signs as well.
Woo, I would like that.
But I don't know if Jupiter is significant, but maybe it is. Interesting. Very cool. Very cool. Celebrities born during the year of the dog.
Yes, who are your Chinese twins?
Well, specifically, celebrities who are wood dogs. So, I mean, these are people who were born during 1994, the same year as me, but Justin Bieber and Harry
The
Styles.
Beebs.
And Harry Styles is actually his birthday is right around the time of the Lunar New Year. So he kind of aligns with your lunar um
Right,
zodiac.
since he's like on the cusp because it changes, you're right. We can both claim Harry, that's okay.
Yeah, so he was born in 94 but like right before the zodiac started, I think. So he fits both of ours. But yeah, I also have Michael Jackson and Anne Hathaway and
We love Anne.
a slew of presidents, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush. So yeah, that's super cool.
Wow. So you were basically born to be a leader, is what I'm gathering.
I guess, yeah, I think I have big shoes to fill, for good or for bad. I need to do something with my life.
I'm gonna start your presidential campaign right now, so
I don't think that's a good idea, but you can try if you want.
no, but that's awesome. I love seeing kind of like it's like, oh, okay. Got lots
Yeah.
of actors, musicians, big wigs, I like.
Well, their creativity is something that is in my wood description, not necessarily the dog description, but I'm not surprised to see some creatives in there.
That makes sense. And you play the
I
piano. You are musical too, so actually, yeah, you fit right in.
Yeah, I play piano, violin. I love to sing. I'm not a good singer, but I do love to sing. So I guess I do like, creative things. As far as like hands-on, like I cannot draw or paint or anything like that. But I would love to
No, but you
learn.
were really into the cricket. Remember for a while there, you made some really awesome cricket stuff.
I did all of your baby shower invitations on the
Yeah,
Cricut,
you are.
and
You actually have a good penchant for design, like graphic design,
I do
for
enjoy
sure.
graphic design. But like if it was by hand on paper, that is not going to come out so well if
No, but
I'm
your
doing it.
handwriting is beautiful. So maybe you can't draw like faces, but you can, yeah, you can handwrite beautifully.
I have dabbled in calligraphy a little bit too.
Mm.
All right, Libby, tell me about your Chinese zodiac.
Alrighty, so I am the rooster, which you could deduce that I was born in 93. We are defined by our confidence, hardworking nature, and meticulous organization. I can see that. They're
Hmm.
honest, loyal, direct communicators, often characterized with a strong sense of responsibility, resourcefulness. Oh, stylish professional appearance. Yeah, when I have to like be
Absolutely.
out in public, then sure. When I'm at home, it's pajamas all the time.
Sure.
But I actually never knew about the I guess it's kind of embarrassing that but I never knew about the 5 elements, like, I remember seeing, like, last year, it was, like, the wood dragon, but I was like, "Oh, that's different." So, I'm a water rooster, and this part of the traits kind of brings out, like, the more empatheticness, introspective artists and philosophers, let's see. Well, I guess because they're gentle just like how water is gentle,
Well, that's very symbolic.
right? I like
I like
that.
that. So does that mean, like, we're hard and dense because wood is hard and dense?
The stubbornness though, because, wood doesn't break easily or bend easily, so I guess it all kind of makes sense.
That's really cool.
Sympathetic, cooperative, sometimes perfectionists who prefer to avoid drama.
Mm.
I like preferred to avoid it, but I like to be like that little cat on the fence meme where it's like me listening in on the drama,
Yeah.
but far away
I
from the
wanna
drama.
know about the drama. I don't wanna be in the drama. Sure.
That's funny. We always kind of come back to like that perfectionist within us.
Yeah.
So water represents the north, winter, the color black, and then the planet Mercury. I find that interesting. I do love winter. But yeah, kind of back to your point, like I'm not sure the symbolicness of planets though, so I'd be curious to like dive into that in a different topic.
Yeah. I mean, I was Jupiter, so in my head, I was like, "We're right beside each other," but no, we're not. That's
Mercury,
not how
Venus,
planets
Earth,
work.
Mars. Yeah. Jupiter's a little bit farther away.
To jump in on something completely off topic, I don't know if you have come across this guy on your I'm assuming he's on TikTok and I see him on Facebook Reels, but he like has beef with the planets and he's a creator and he'll put up a picture in the background of like Jupiter and he'll be like, and Jupiter and like just go in on like and you stink because you got all of this methane gas and like he is so funny but like very like intellectually like just bashing the planet. So I
That's
think
hilarious.
he is hilarious.
If you come across it again, send them to me because I might have like seen them while scrolling, but I can't. That just sounds funny. I want to know what he says about Mercury now.
Well, so he posts like when NASA tweets something, I guess I don't know what they call it on X, but when NASA will post something online, he'll like put it up and like comment on it. So I see him all the time. Yeah, he's mad at like Jupiter has an absorbent amount of moons, and so he's just like, why do you have so many moons? There's one where he found like a picture online that says what Saturn would look like if it was as close to Earth as our moon is. And yeah, he's just funny. So I wish I could tell you his name off the top of my head. I'll put his handle in the show notes at least for like Facebook or whatever, but he
Yeah,
is
we
funny.
definitely need a little comedic relief. That's that's so funny.
Yeah. Him and then the guy who's like, "Would I survive?" Have you seen his videos? Completely
No,
off topic.
but this sounds hilarious. Like, yeah,
It's
just tell me
like
more.
cartoon videos of like it would have like a Toyota 4Runner and it like slams into a wall at like 100 miles an hour and he's like, "Would I survive?" And he'd be like, "No, potted meat." I like it when he says that. Or, yeah, just a lot of them. So I will share and credit those creators because they provide me with a lot of entertainment. But yeah, I was curious if he has made any videos about the Chinese New Year. Maybe he's got something to say about the planets associated with what is this year? The fire horse.
Yeah, I would love to know if he has like some thoughts on that. That's so funny.
So anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt. What else is significant about your water rooster?
The only thing I was gonna add, I guess the negative traits, sometimes water roosters can be too emotional, fearful, or passive. I could see that being like too emotional.
I
I can
wouldn't say you're
definitely
passive,
no, I would say I can be a little bit like not like doomsy, but yeah, I guess like a
pessimistic.
bit afraid. Yeah,
Yeah,
but also if
maybe.
I like spend too much time alone, you start little worst case scenario games. I don't know.
Yeah. I like the I don't know who to credit this for, but like something that when I'm starting to get that like like pessimistic cycle and like worst case scenario, starting to ask myself, okay, well, what's the best thing that could happen?
I like that.
So just kind of turn it around. Be like, I've come up with all the bad solutions, but like what could be a good solution? So anyway, maybe try that if you get in that cycle again.
Yes, I like that. I would definitely
Oh.
try that.
Um
But my rooster twins, or
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah, and then we can move on. I got Ariana Grande. It's kind of cool. Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Steve Martin. I feel like there's a lot of fans of Only Murders in the Building. I watched like the
Yes.
first season, but I like couldn't get into it. Maybe I'll try it again one day.
Yeah,
And then
I think you'd like
Yoko
it.
Ono. She was married to one of the Beatles. Don't hate me. I don't
Yeah,
remember which one she was married to, but so yeah,
I
kind of
can I
like
can look that up for you.
more also like entertainer figures in life. So that's kind of cool.
For curiosity's sake, she was married to a few different people, which good for her, I guess. But she was married to John Lennon.
Oh, okay, nice. I was gonna guess John Lennon, but then I was like, no, I don't want to be wrong.
Well, the Beatles have surprisingly become relevant to our podcast this episode. Maybe I need to start listening to some more Beatles. Maybe that's a sign.
Did you ever watch that one show? It was called Yesterday, and it was kind of like about the Beatles a bit.
I have not. Tell me about it.
It was really good. It has Lily James, and so she played the live action Cinderella.
Yeah.
But yesterday, let me look it up again. Yes, this guy, he wakes up and he realizes he's the only person who can remember the Beatles. So,
I do remember
mm-hmm.
seeing ads for that.
Oh, I didn't realize the director is Danny Boyle, and he's the same guy that did all of those, not all of them, but most of the zombie movies. 28 Days Later, 28 Years Later.
Nice. Well, that's
Oh,
pretty
that's kind
cool.
of funny, a big departure. Oh, he also did Slumdog Millionaire. I didn't realize that was him too. But yeah, that was a fun movie, and it's one of those things where you have all the streaming services, but the one thing you want to watch, you can rent it on Amazon Prime, but you can't watch it for
Absolutely.
free.
Absolutely. Which to me means I'll watch that in 5 years when it's free.
Right?
Yeah.
No, but that was
So
good. That was a good one.
something that is important for one of the days of the Chinese New Year festival is the lanterns. And specifically, if you want to trust my YouTube source, which I'm going to claim it with confidence, Chinese people who are celebrating typically put out paper lanterns shaped like rabbits because rabbits are significant for the Chinese New Year. Rabbits and dragons are two of like the biggest or I guess like most significant animals associated with the Chinese New Year, according to YouTube. I could be completely wrong. But that the rabbits are symbolic. So, anyway, they put out lanterns, and according to YouTube, it's the lanterns of the rabbits that people put out on their porch as a celebration. When you were living in North Carolina, did you ever go to the North Carolina Chinese Lantern
Oh
Festival?
yeah, we would go. We almost made it like a little annual traditional thing. So we went at least like 3 different times, and especially like if friends in town would travel to visit us, we'd be like, "Oh, let's go Lantern Festival." So that was always so much fun. Did we ever
I
go
did not
together?
go this year. No, I've never been with you. I've only been one time. I went last year with a different one of my friends and her daughter. But it is just like breathtaking, all of the things that they have just made out of lights. And they do it, I mean, they do it like in January. Like, actually, I think it starts in November. Like,
Yeah, it
it's
goes for
not
a
up
couple of months.
it's not up during actual Chinese New Year, at least it wasn't this year, but I guess, they kind of align it with Christmas because we like Christmas lights and it's very
Hmm.
festively relevant for us for Christmas time, but that to me is like just one of the coolest Chinese cultural things because you also can see performers and, Chinese foods and all kinds of just cultural immersion there. So,
And
I like it.
they work on that like for months because I love that like they're all like handmade in China and then like they're brought over here for the festival every year. Some of the stuff I think like I don't know if you remember, but there was like a row where they had like all the zodiacs and like all the different
Yeah,
animal lanterns. So some things like that will like pretty much stay. I think maybe they'll change a little bit, but they'll always have like something new each year, and they'll have gigantic ones too, like in the lake too. So those are my favorites.
absolutely. You will have to come up and stay with me next year and we can go together because it's such a fun experience.
Yes, it's so much more fun to go with people too. So.
Yeah. And I think it would be fun to take your little boy.
Yes, especially by then, like, he would definitely love that. I feel like he'd appreciate like, he'd be able to, like, see and, like, maybe talk by then. He says, like, a few
Yeah,
words now, but yeah.
he'll talk some more, but yeah, I think he would enjoy that. So anyway, cool. Well, I am excited that I got to learn more about the Chinese New Year because embarrassingly, I was pretty ignorant to it. And maybe it's not so embarrassing because, it's not necessarily culturally relevant to, our part of the world, but I do like to know about other traditions and other cultures. So Thank you for picking this topic and for introducing me to some of the history and the background.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it was kind of nice because, we shared a couple. I definitely remember like when I lived in Raleigh, we would go to like a couple of like these markets that they would have in honor of the new year. So I just remember us going and having a lot of fun, just, eating some great food, shopping at all the local vendors. I think there was like a little dragon parade too. I feel like there was like a small, like little, like there's like little shows and stuff that people put on. So brings back good memories of hanging out in person.
Yeah. I love hanging out together. I'm already kind of picturing my next visit.
Yes,
We
in my
can
new
talk off
house.
air.
If it all goes well, we're under contract, but I don't want to jinx anything.
Well, by the time this episode releases March 13th, if all goes well, you should be in your house by then, right?
We'll be 3 days out from closing. We'll be closing on the 16th. Yeah, fingers
Okay, so
crossed.
the stressies will be going, but nice. So, future you, if you're listening, Libby, in the future, I'm excited for you to get into your new house.
So you can
I
come
wish
visit.
I could be there to christen it with you, but yeah, cool.
Yeah.
What about or let's just go into our obsessions. Let's go ahead and start wrapping up for today. So, Libby, what are you currently obsessed with?
All right, so back with the TV. So I'm halfway through the Artful Dodger season 2, and it takes place, or it's filmed in Australia, but I feel like it takes place kind of like in older times in England, but it's about this surgeon. He's like a really, really good surgeon, but he kind of grew up as like a thief and like was raised by like another thief. So, like kind of had a rough background. And sometimes he still does like thievery a little bit, but he's such a good surgeon. It's like, so it's kind of about him, a little bit of love story, of course. But the main guy, what would you know him from? You watched the Maze Runner movies, right?
No, I have not.
Nope. Did you see
But
Love
I can picture the
Actually?
guy. Yes,
Okay.
I've seen that.
Yes, Thomas. His name is. I don't know why I can never remember people's names, but his name is Thomas. But he's like one of those actors that has like such a baby face. So, like even though he's a little bit older than us, he will ever look so young. But he's such a good actor, and he's in this. He plays the main guy, and then his actual like the guy who kind of raised him, the other thieving guy. He was the one who played Professor Lupin in Harry.
Ooh,
Again, Harry Potter. But it's just fun to see like these characters that you like have seen in other movies like take on such a different role. So I feel like you would like it. It's on Hulu or Disney
I
Plus,
do
whatever.
love a good Hulu program. So nice. Any other obsessions?
And I just finished Tell Me Lies. I think I brought this up in the last episode because the episodes hadn't all gone out yet, but they just had the series finale. So after 3 tumultuous seasons, it finally ended. That's the show about a group of college friends, and it centers on the main girl. She's in off again, on again, abusive, toxic relationship. So they actually managed to tie up a lot of the storylines in one episode. I didn't think it was possible, but if you're looking for something that's super addicting but also makes you want to yell at all the characters, you'll like that one. So I gotta find
Yeah,
me a
I'm
new
I'm
show.
gonna have to dive into both of those. I have not watched either of those. And I feel like I watch a lot of TV, so I like that you recommend things that I haven't seen.
Yes, let me know how you like both. I feel like I want you to watch Artful Dodger first though, so that we can like talk about because I keep trying to get people to watch that one, but I feel like I don't know if it's like too niche, but you'll know what I mean when you watch it.
I'll watch it. Sure.
But what about you? What are your
So
assumptions?
as far as my obsessions for this week, I do have one TV series, and I actually just started it this morning, but I really, really got addicted to it. So I am watching Happy Face, which is also on Hulu. And, I've mentioned before that I'm a big fan of true crime. So this
Yes.
is not like a documentary, but it's a based on a true story kind of TV series. And by series, I mean they only did one season and they're not going to do anymore, but it follows the daughter of the happy face killer. And, not to dive into the true crime world because there are 8,000 podcasts out there you can listen to. But if you're not familiar, the happy face killer, his name was Keith Jefferson. He was a truck driver. So kind of that trope of like the truck driver serial killer. But
Right.
he would write letters to the media and sign them at the bottom with a smiley face. And so that's why they called him the happy face killer. But this show, Happy Face, follows his daughter and kind of like she works in the TV industry. She's a makeup artist for like a Dr. Phil type of like TV show. And he writes in or calls in to the TV show and says, I will only talk to the doctor and her. And no one knows that she's his daughter. So it's kind of like, revealed that she's his daughter, and he confesses to some other crimes and whatever. So it's interesting. I like it, especially if you're into true crime. But sometimes you're just not in the mood for a documentary. You want to do some of the imaginative stuff.
Yeah, I
That's a
like this.
pretty
So
good
did he
show.
actually did the real guy have a daughter?
Yes, it's actually pretty common for serial killers to, I mean, from my research I've done by listening to podcasts, it's pretty common for them to just live like completely normal lives. Most of them are not just like individual, like creepy alone men. There are some, obviously, but
Right.
a lot of them are like BTK. He was a father and had kids, and it sucks because their kids are almost like demonized in the media sometimes too, just because of who their family is.
Right. It's like I didn't ask for this.
Yeah. And people are like, well, how could you live with this man and not know? But in the happy face situation, her dad was a truck driver. So he would kill girls while he was out on the road. And yeah, so I mean, it's not like she would know
Right. Yeah, I'm
what
sure
he
he
was
was traveling
doing.
a lot, so he was probably not even home that much. So
Yeah. So,
okay, I
but
have
it's
seen
interesting.
that
That's a
like
good
kind
one.
of on the banner, so I'll check that one out. My mom and I love to watch a good like true or not even a true crime, but crime drama, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. We definitely, I think, have some similar interests there. And then my other thing is completely unrelated. It's nothing to consume. It's not a recommendation for anyone. But I have currently been obsessed with remodeling my bathroom. And remodel is a strong word. I guess we're just redecorating. But we have picked out a paint color. We have a paint sample splotched on the wall. And then that's as far as we got with painting. But we do already currently have a new shower curtain, some new hooks to hang our towels on, just a little bit of decor. So we're doing an outhouse theme.
Oh, well, that's so much fun.
Yeah, just very like rustic. So I hung a moon on the outside of the bathroom door, and I love it. I think it's
Oh,
super
I love
cute.
that.
So kind of just doing like a country rustic bathroom, and it's pretty cool. So I'm enjoying shopping on Amazon, even just browsing like what kind of decorations are there for really rustic thing. Actually going all the way back to our hot take on toilet paper. One of the things I'm considering using as a piece of artwork in the bathroom is patents. I don't know if you've seen my husband, I got him a gift one year for a patent for something. And so I'm thinking about getting some more patents of like you can get a toilet seat and a plunger and toilet paper and just hanging those in the wall. But the patent for the toilet paper does show over. So I think that's the way toilet paper was designed to be.
That is so cool. I hope you took a before picture because I definitely want to see the before and after result.
I don't necessarily have a before picture, but before we do like painting, I'll at least snap a picture of like, the shower curtain area
Right, right,
so
right.
we can see the difference. So
That's so much
we're
fun.
going with like an olive green color. So I'm
That's a
excited
good
to
color.
get, we have, I mean, if you're watching, the color of the walls in this room is the color of every wall in my house. So I'm excited to get some more color out there.
Right? Yeah, personalize it up. So, woo, I'm excited for you. I love a good home
Yeah.
project.
So, listeners out there, if you're watching on YouTube, I need everyone to like, comment, rate, subscribe, whatever you do on your platform. So, it helps us get out there. It helps new people get to hear our show. And, I just want to know your thoughts, whether it's good, bad, suggestions. If you have any suggestions, you can always email us. We have an email address, let me call you back podcast@gmail.com. The link for that will be in the show notes. And you can also follow us on all of our social media platforms. So currently we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and you can subscribe through your podcast network wherever you get your podcasts. So
And you can watch us
Libby,
on YouTube now. I'm very excited about that.
yes, the video, if you like just seeing people while they talk, which I prefer to sometimes, yeah, we're there. Let me call you back on YouTube. So, and I would like to go ahead and start asking our audience to kind of give us some, conversations. So I have a join the conversation topic that I've picked for this episode. And I want to know, listeners, what is your Chinese zodiac? What is your background? Are you a dog? Are you a rooster or are you something else? So if you'll let us know, I would love to get to know some of you guys and have that information just to see who is enjoying our pod. But as far as things go right now, Libby, I think I'm gonna have to go, so let me call you back.
All right, let me call you back. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.